First of all, please introduce yourself to Korean viewers, your name, and what do you do?
Hi, I'm Rob Serwinski. I am the managing partner of a New York-based law firm called Gemini Law. And I have been practicing complex patent litigation in the US for about 25 years. And my practice focuses on complex biotechnology and biopharmaceutical patent disputes in the US.
Nowadays, you're dealing with the ToolGen's, cases here. How do you see like a ToolGen's patents in, its therapeutics, the business area?
So ToolGen's patents relate to a very, very fundamentally important innovation known as CRISPR, sometimes called CRISPR-Cas9. And CRISPR-Cas9, in a nutshell, is a method for editing the genomes of humans, and other animals. And it is really, an innovation that is as significant ultimately as the light bulb or electricity. It's fundamental to the future of humanity because it ultimately will enable us to edit the genomes of human beings to cure diseases, right, to make humans better, right? So it's really fundamental technology. And ToolGen has really been a leading world pioneer in this very, very exciting area.
Do you believe the business area is kind of getting bigger and bigger? I believe definitely CRISPR-Cas9 is one of the tools which invented that methodology in that area.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think hundreds, and at this point thousands of companies around the world and many billions of dollars have organized around exploiting this basic CRISPR-Cas9 innovation. It's a very, very exciting area of biotechnology. And actually in the US, we're already seeing the first therapeutics, the first gene therapies being approved by the US Food and Drug Administration and starting to actually be used therapeutically among humans. Tremendously exciting. And ToolGen's really at the forefront of the basic innovations that are powering all of that. And so, in the US press, we've seen a lot of mention of the Broad Institute, right, and other leaders in the field, but ToolGen's really starting to get noticed as the pioneer in this original application of CRISPR to higher organisms like humans. So it's tremendously exciting.
How do you foresee in the ToolGen's results so far? Definitely ToolGen was well-known institution for research, mainly. But nowadays, they're kind of, divert, towards the business area as well. So how do you see, the ToolGen's, the result and foreseeing that?
I think ToolGen's business model is very, very exciting. I think being the pioneers in the application of CRISPR-Cas9 to human therapeutics, they've got a great platform technology that's really poised to power the kinds of follow-on innovations, applications of that basic technology to some really exciting areas of medicine and gene therapy. And so I'm tremendously proud to be representing ToolGen, to be working with such a pioneering team.
You said you met the ToolGen's leadership people as well, in South Korea. How was it, and how do you see their leadership and research and also business direction for the future?
It was extremely exciting meeting these CRISPR-Cas9 pioneers, right? The folks who really came up with these basic innovations and contributed them to humanity. I was a little bit starstruck, actually. And it's a very, very sophisticated team. The facilities, right, the quality of personnel, the management vision, all very, very impressive.
I mean, what about CRISPR platform business? What do you expect? They're doing this, CRISPR, platform.
So I think it's a very smart way to leverage the ToolGen's basic science, right? Because there's a lot of companies in the US, in Asia, in Europe, right, that have formed around particular applications of CRISPR to particular diseases, right? So the application of CRISPR to gene therapies is so large, really one company can't do it all, right? But as a platform technology, offering a platform to each of these companies that wants to take that platform to pursue a particular gene therapy for a particular disease, for example. It's really a very smart business model that lets ToolGen work with companies, many, many companies around the world. So it's very exciting.
You already mentioned that like it's already kind of billions of dollars business already, and like there are thousands of companies who are kind of trying to exploit like that this basic technology into the advanced one, I believe.
That's right. That's right. I think in the U.S. in particular, we've seen a lot of companies in places like Cambridge, outside of Boston, and other areas that have a lot of biotechnology companies, right? We know that there are hundreds and hundreds of companies that are actually pursuing CRISPR to apply it to particular areas of disease therapy. And there's a lot of money, frankly, powering those companies and chasing this opportunity because it's so fundamental, right? If you can cure a genetic disease, right, that a person would otherwise have for their whole lives and maybe even die at an early age, but you can cure that permanently, right? It's just a fundamentally, altering technology for humanity, right? And I think a lot of people, a lot of scientists, a lot of investors see the promise of this and want to get in and try to power some of these early wins.
You and I, like, we're both fathers, and definitely the kind of genetic diseases like that if we may have, then we are really worried about like that might be transferred down to the next generation of our family here.
That's right. Can you imagine the heartbreak of being a father and realizing, at a very young age of your child that they have a crippling, a debilitating, or even an eventually fatal genetic disease, right? That's a devastating diagnosis. But then imagine being told that now, using CRISPR-Cas9 and ToolGen's innovation, that there are companies who have taken the platform technology and they've actually made a gene therapy to cure your child, right? I can't imagine anything, more exciting and promising, for the parents around the world who are constantly being told, this bad news when these genetic diseases get diagnosed. So very, very exciting.
In terms of like kind of like a medical treatment, like it's kind of paradigm shifts. Like it's before then, like it was almost like kind of cure the symptoms only, right?
Exactly.
But like this, genetic therapeutics, like a CRISPR-9, it's almost like just cure the cause, and then it will never happen.
That's exactly right. Most drugs are the equivalent of a Band-Aid, right, or an ointment. They treat the symptoms, right, but the disease doesn't go away, and the disease will come back, right, when the treatment stops. The nature of most genetic diseases is that we often don't have very good medicines to even treat the symptoms, right? And even if you have medicines that treat the symptoms, they're often not 100% effective. And over time, the cumulative damage that a genetic disease does eventually debilitates the patient, or it's even fatal. If you can, with a gene therapy, actually cure the root cause of the disease, that's tremendously exciting.
How do you see like a ToolGen's business area? I mean, like not only the patent, like but also like ToolGen's is doing a lot of researches on, the kind of direct the genetic therapeutics, and also like different animal plants and etc. How do you see like their business future?
Yeah, again, because their approach is a platform technology. ToolGen is doing a great job taking its innovative science and identifying areas in which the platform technology can be usefully applied. And so ToolGen's able to make innovations and improvements, right, in areas like plant biology, for example, as you mentioned, that can spawn, hundreds of other businesses to benefit agriculture and hunger around the world, for example. So the platform-based nature of its research is really very, very promising in terms of the future of ToolGen's business.
You're dealing with ToolGen's cases here, litigation here. I mean, what's your expectation and what's your gut feeling? Let's say that like it's you just started here, right? I mean, so like what's your gut feeling here?
So I feel like ToolGen has a tremendously exciting patent portfolio, and I feel strongly, very positive about ToolGen ultimately, being recognized for the fundamental contributions it's made in the CRISPR-Cas9 field, both in the U.S. Patent Office and in patent offices around the world.